So what is an AMI meeting like? Well, it is intense, to be honest with you. It is this incredible combination of being inspired, just every synapse in your brain firing and lighting up with connections given the ideas and concepts that you're exposed to as you talk to other members and hear their stories and the presentations by the positive turbulence presenters. So you've got so much coming at you. You're taking so many notes. Your notebook is overfull with connections and ideas and new things that you hadn't thought about before. At the same time, it is incredibly grounding. It's like being with people that you feel at home with and that you feel like you can relax and take your shoes off and be in the chaos of all of this inspiration and feel supported and feel you have some opportunity to reflect and to start to weave the patterns across everything you're hearing as you process it together in community. One of the great terms that I've heard said about AMI is exhausted. I feel exhausted because of AMI, that combination of incredibly energized and inspired, and then also just exhausted because you have so much happening in your brain and in your heart. And so I love that way of describing it as well. And you know, our founder Stan, one of his favorite things to talk about is this concept of roots and wings. And I really do find that to be very present in an AMI meeting, that you are rooted in this community to others who are by your side on this journey of innovation, and that you are sprouting and growing these amazing wings as a result of all of the ideas and inspiration that's coming through. It's like holding space for those two things at once.
Design of the community experience, I think, is difficult and amazing at the same time. Imagine like you're invited to be the conductor of a symphony of all the world's best musicians. Your job is just not to screw it up and get out of the way and let them play and let them sing. And in one sense, you know, designing the AMI experience is like that. You want to create a structure and a vessel. You want to keep it moving, make sure that no one dominates or doesn't get off track, but really loose kid gloves. You just want to let the community be what it is and give people the opportunity to speak, to listen, to learn and engage, and treat it with light hands in a sense. At the same time, it's not full looseness, right? You've got to, when you bring a positive turbulent speaker or something that's meant to be disruptive to typical patterns of thinking, you need to hammer that hard, and you need to bring something that's really coming from left field. And so, yeah, I love the design of the AMI community experience. As a designer, I miss sometimes being a participant, but it's great to be there, and it's great to see everyone interacting, and the outcomes we get every time are just amazing. It's fun to watch.
Over the last 4 years, I've really seen people grow that might have been shy in the beginning or didn't quite know, but they just grew into their own skin. And we just invite everybody to be authentic and bring their whole self. And people can choose to do that. These are just really good, kind human beings. And I think that's why this group of folks has lasted this long, just because of the engagement level, the authenticity, the level of learning, the level of contribution. No two meetings are ever the same. The learning objectives are a little different. The people presenting vary. Most of the same members come, but the dynamics are always so interesting. And but all the meetings are good. So we're challenged with how do we top it the next time, right?
And once we have that feeling, knowing that we can be ourselves, and people around us are all very supportive, and elaborate ideas based on each other's. It's a transformative experience.
So as we design the AMI experience for our members, we have this tension that we're playing with all the time, which is how do we constantly innovate the AMI experience and bring newness to that experience for our members? How do we create new kinds of immersions, new kinds of positive turbulence, new kinds of ways for our members to share their stories and learn from one another as innovators? While at the same time we're filling that cup, we're overfilling the cup. We want to create moments for reflection and moments for that sort of what happens when you take a deep breath and there's a little bit of quiet and the water's calm and you can see how to connect the dots across all of this different inspiration that's been going on. So in the design, we're constantly looking for the intensity and the what at times almost feels like intentional chaos of connection making amongst the group, with time for reflection and an opportunity to connect, maybe one-on-one, or spend some time for yourself reflecting. One of the practices that we developed and that has stuck around that's really in the space of reflection is specifically related to our newcomer experience, and that's called the fishbowl. So at the end of an AMI gathering, we invite our newcomers to gather around in the center of the room in what we call a fishbowl, and our regular members circle around, have their lunch in hand, and are really just listening. And the newcomers are taking some time to reflect on the experience of AMI and the meeting and share their stories with one another and share their experiences with one another. And we learn so much from this. It is such a gift to AMI that our newcomers have that time to reflect, to share very raw kind of experience of what the AMI meeting meant for them, how it inspired them, what they'll take back from it, what they'll do with it, what they're looking forward to. And it is an input to our innovation process that we are having a chance to hear directly from newcomers, from people who are new to our group, and bringing this such incredibly important, valuable new perspective, what you learned and what you liked and where you see opportunities for us to improve the AMI experience. And we take all of that to heart and we design it into our next meeting.
The fishbowl is really cool. I like the idea of centering new voices and really giving folks the space to, because I think that, like you said, it's unique because oftentimes we're looking to the, and I say elders, and what I mean by that is people who the veterans, we're looking for them for the wisdom. And there's something that Stan says all the time that I really appreciate is that, the wisdom is here. The wisdom is in all of us. We're I can't remember what trees that he uses as the analogy, right? But like our root systems are connected. Like our strength is in here. And so you don't feel leaving like you were only supposed to gain knowledge or understanding, but you had something to contribute. And the fact that you censor voices of people who are new shows that is a necessary piece of that work and innovation, is to say what voices are not heard that need to be heard. And the only way to do that is to back off and give them time to talk, right? A lot of the work that I do, again, is like people use this analogy of like having a seat at the table, expand, putting more seats at the table. That's all well and good, right? But if you get a seat at the table and you don't talk for 20 years, then what change can happen? If your voice doesn't actually get to be a part of the conversation, then there is no movement. And so I think that is what I got from the fishbowl. And then being somebody who, being a part of it and then having to be on the outside of the fishbowl, you're in that space of like, okay, now I have to receive and listen, because that's an important part of being a part of a community, is not just always thinking that you have the knowledge or the wisdom or the thing to give, but that you have to receive as well. And so that reciprocity being modeled in the group is one of the best things about it.